Hey guys, I just wanted to do a quick video on this attack sheet that Tartar and I were working on and how I use it for war. Basically what I want to know is, with this set team, what's my tile damage and how many tiles do I need to connect in order to take down the heroes that I'm up against. So essentially, first thing that we would do, is just you set your team as you would in the game. And then if you open up the sheet, basically this has two individual tabs for my team. So I've got one where I track the levels of all my heroes and kind of what ascension they're at, as well as what level, and then populate the attack and health and whatnot. And then another sheet has these drop downs, so I can actually select from my heroes sheet the heroes at that specific level, and after entering in the troops that I've got, then it'll show me the tile damage on the top here versus each individual. So if Magni connects versus June, for instance, it'll do 33 damage. If he connects versus Natalia, it'll do about 57. That's usually plus or minus, I don't know, let's say 5%, and that's just a wag here. But and then you want to set the team that you're up against. So this is Alassi, Aeron, June, Natalia, Rygard on the bottom. Make sure that the critical troops and their mana troops are set up properly. And then basically it shows you how many tiles you need to connect in order to take these guys down. And this is normal tile damage, so when you get a critical attack, it usually drops it. And this is something that factors not only in the troops that they have, but also the boost that the developers put in for the defense team. So what I'm looking at is 5.7 with Delilah or Guardian, Jackal or Owl in order to take down Aeron. So let's say if I wanted to change Owl to another yellow, let's just put Wukong in there for instance, then it's going to change that tile damage solely based on the fact that their attack is starkly different. So the more attack that you have, basically stacked within your yellow stacking or whatever you're stacking, your color stacking, then that's going to greatly reduce the amount of tiles that you need to connect. I'll put a graph up to make it look easier, but it's an exponential. It's not just additive, so it's not Delilah plus Guardian plus Wukong. The way the developers put it in, it's all on the front end before the calculation is done. So it ends up being an exponential increase on attack, and I think that's why everybody started stacking colors for raids and whatnot. So yeah, after you pick your team of the actual heroes that you want, and just for this, I'm just going to leave Owl in. Then you fight, and you can see if it actually adds up and how well you do here. Well, son of a bee. That is a piss poor ass board. That is a piss poor board for anything that I'm trying to do. Oh man. Alright, I think Aaron's going to use his special probably next turn, so I'm just going to go ahead and hit Natalia with that. And try to put her down before Rygarde goes off. Nice. Well, unfortunately the status ailment isn't going to work here. But it's still going to do damage. Alright, so looking at that, you got 22, 22, 21 for Rygarde. Rygarde versus Lassie, and that's the tile damage, single tile damage that I've got, 21 on my sheet. Sorry that I didn't cross-reference enough, but watching this video can slow it down and be able to look at it a little more in detail. I kind of got thrown off by that terrible board when I started off. Hey, just a quick follow-up. I just wanted to go through a couple of tiles and then cross-reference in the tile sheet. So with that same attack with, let's see here, blue at 31, purple at 54, looks like some yellows at 91, 94, and then one hit Aron at 276. So you can cross-reference the sheet if you want to at the end, but I'm just doing it just kind of to show that it's close, but it's not 100% accurate because there's a variable in there that changes with each tile connected. But it should be within, like I said, within about 5% or so. It just gets a little bit higher with the color stacking. So looking at blue was 31, so for Magni 31, about 33, which is pretty close. Rygarde was 54. He's listed as 59. And then yellow was connecting at 91, which is considerably higher. And then I believe 250, 276 for damage to Aron, which is quite a bit higher than that as well. Yeah, I mean, to me it's helpful just for a visual of how my team stacks up. Specifically when I stack up against Gwen, I like to try to keep it at like 5 or right around 5 as a number for how many tiles I have to connect in order to take her down, which usually translates to about 3 heroes. And so it can be pretty helpful for tanks. And I've got this sheet set up as well. You can see that it put all the yellow heroes basically below the versus team that you're up against, so you can kind of take a look at your team that you have currently stacked up, which is the one I used previously, let's say versus Gwen, which is this row right here. So you're talking 22.6 is how many tiles you'd have to take. It would take to knock her down with those 3 yellows stacked up, or 30, which isn't too much more with just 1 purple. So the more Obviously, the more color stacking that you do, you can see that it starts dropping it pretty considerably. Now it's 9.5 instead of 30 for just Ryguard. And usually just one more will take it down to right around a 5. And that's pretty much the case with all of these, except for Owl and Justice. They both have a lot of defense, which makes it hard to take them down as a tank. It's almost a full tile more, or it is a full tile more than Delilah, and over that if for Viv. But then again, the troops aren't set up to match one another in this sheet. But if you'd like to use it, let me know. I can set you up with a team just basically by you posting pictures of your heroes on Discord, and just with a little bit of effort to make sure that the attack and the defense and the health are correct, which you can do in cross-reference the heroes that you have in the game. You can get up and running here in probably just a few hours. So let me know if you want me to set it up for you. I'd be happy to. If not, then right on.